Hey y'all, I have started this video over quite a few times, so if this one doesn't work, I may just have to call it quits for the night and start again tomorrow. But before I go into the topic of tonight's video, I would like to apologize because I realized that today marks exactly 2 weeks since I shot the last video. And like I stated before, I would like to post at least one video per week. And I've been pretty consistent with doing that. But maybe, I guess, life just got away from me last week and I did not post one. So I apologize to you all for that. And I would also like to ask that you excuse how tired I look right now. I'm actually not as tired as I look, but I am a little tired. It is after 12 midnight, and I normally do not shoot videos this late at all. Also, I'm suffering from a little bit of an allergic reaction to something, and I am a little tired. So excuse the exhaustion. I can't even say the word. Excuse that look. But today I would like to discuss, because I had a client, well, she's not my client, but I had a mother inbox me and ask, was it common that a child would be declined coverage because they are diagnosed with ADHD? And unfortunately, yes, it is pretty common. I've even seen where there may be more than one child in a family with ADHD. One child is approved and the other child is declined. And because I do not work in the underwriting side of things, I can't say definitively why that is. But if I had to guess, just based on what I do know about underwriting, I would say that the type of medication they're on could play a part in it. Some medications are looked at as a higher risk, and it could be because of the allergic reaction. My face is itching a little. It could be because of the medication that they're prescribed. Some medications, the side effects alone could pose a higher risk. The insurance company could consider you at a higher risk because of the type of medication you're on and the side effects that those medications have. Or it could be the dosage of the medication, and not just as it pertains to ADHD, but just in general. Typically, the higher the dosage, the more severe the condition is considered to be. So the company may look at it like you're higher risk. It could also be something that's in the medical record in combination with the medication, or in combination with the condition itself. Other things in a medical record, when you compile them all together, they may think, you may pose a higher risk. Also, if the child is on disability for the condition, that could lead to a decline, because when someone is on disability, that is just a whole other set of circumstances that the insurance company has to consider. So being on disability not always is not across the board, but that could lead to a decline. So that just leaves me, I would like to talk about something else that I've been thinking about for a while. If you know me personally, those of you who know me personally, you know that health, especially holistic health, is something that I'm also very passionate about. And for a while now, I've been thinking about teaming up with healthcare professionals. You hear me say insure the hood, and I would like to eventually do some insure the hood events. Myself and some of my colleagues, we've been discussing it. But I would also like to team up with some healthcare professionals to do maybe some health in the hood events. Because, like I often speak about, as a community, I would like to see us on a better financial footing. And health ties right into that to me, because it is very costly. It can be very costly to be unhealthy. As I've discussed on numerous videos, we see how being unhealthy can cause us to have to pay a higher insurance premium. So that's just one example of how it can be costly to be unhealthy. So if any healthcare professionals are watching and you may be interested in teaming up to, even if it's just initially to brainstorm about some things so that we can eventually do these health in the hood events. And it's not just to get people healthy enough so that they can be approved for life insurance, but just in general, because a lot of the things that we tend to be afflicted with health-wise in our community are many of the things that lead to declines in insurance, but also we need to be around, we need to be around working in a profession. I see that a lot of people pass away at an age where we would consider that they have a lot more life to live. And I would like to see us in general get to live to be elderly, live to be a ripe old age. So again, if you're a healthcare professional and you're watching and you're interested in teaming up with me to do a health in the hood events, please let's brainstorm about it. And this is not just so people can be healthy enough to get life insurance. I just want to see us in a better position as a community as a whole. But I wanted to discuss something else as it relates to not just ADHD, but some other things that I've seen children, and not just children, adults too. But since we're talking about children, because the mother inboxed me about her child who had ADHD, and she was kind of shocked to know that that's something that children can be that children get declined for. There are many things that children tend to suffer from. Asthma. I had a condition in mind and it completely just jumped out of my head. Asthma, ADHD, autism. I've seen children decline because of autism. And it just ties back into me with something that I've stated before. I'm an insurance agent who believes that if you have a life, you need life insurance. I really believe that everyone should have it. But not everyone feels that way. But I'm saying all this to say that, you hear me say that, yes, I feel like you should have coverage on your newborn because it's asked a lot. do newborns really need life insurance? Does it make sense to insure my young children, my newborn children? And I say yes. And this is a prime example of it for me, because a baby can be insured starting at age 14 days. At 14 days old is when you can get coverage on your newborn. But at 14 days old, many I can't even talk tonight, y'all. I apologize. At 14 days old, many newborns haven't been diagnosed with anything yet. So if you can get the coverage, that I say it all the time, get the coverage before you actually think you need the coverage. Now, like I said, I think everybody needs the coverage, but we tend to wait until we think we need it. We have a health scare, etc., to get the coverage. But I stress the point to get the coverage as young as you can, because not only is it less expensive when you're young, but to me it offers a certain level of protection. If you're getting the coverage on your newborn as early as possible, it tends to fall in that time frame where they haven't been diagnosed. I mean, and of course there are newborns born with conditions. So I'm not insinuating that newborns are overall across the board not diagnosed with anything. There are some newborns who are diagnosed while they're still in the womb, but in general, at age 14 days, many newborns have not been diagnosed with anything. So at that age, if you get the coverage, then it offers a level of protection where if you get the coverage and you keep the coverage, by time they're of the age where they start being diagnosed with things, you've already have this coverage on the books. They already have the coverage in place. So if they're later diagnosed with severe asthma, if they're later diagnosed with ADHD, if they're later diagnosed with autism, you already have the coverage, so you don't have to worry about the decline. And not only, so like I said, adults as well. But I had another client, well, she was a potential client who unfortunately ended up not being a client of mine because the company that I was with at the time, she was not able to get coverage through that company. And she also wanted to get coverage on her adult son. He was in his 20s, but he had mental impairments. And the condition that he had, although he was an adult, he was childlike. He would be in a childlike state his entire life. And someone would have to care for him his entire life. And as his mother, she wanted to get life insurance on him. And because of his mental impairment, that led to a decline in coverage. And as an agent, you hate to have to, it's not you, us as we're not agents, we're not making the call, we're not declining you or your loved one or your children for coverage. It's solely up to the company, the underwriters, but we're the ones that have to deliver the news, right? So, and it's something that none of us like to do. And we kind of take a hit, don't go to that agent because the company that she's with, they denied me. So it makes us look bad as the agents, but it's really not us, it's the company. But these are just some of the things that when I'm saying get the coverage as early as possible before life happens and you start being diagnosed with things that may make you declinable, these are some of the examples of one of the things that I mean. And sometimes I don't have the exact examples to give until something like a mother inboxes me about a specific condition, and it makes things a little more real. It makes me be able to say, this is an example of what I meant when I said get the coverage as soon as possible and keep it on the books. So when I had this video planned out in my head, it flowed a lot better. Of course, I wasn't tired when I was thinking about it. But I think I pretty much covered the things that I wanted to cover. Gave a few examples of why it may be a good idea to get coverage on your newborn. Oh, and let me say this. I had a client get coverage on her newborn recently. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly how much coverage she got, but she got coverage on her newborn, and it was $12 for the entire year. So I just wanted to state that, because I always say that, the younger you are, the more inexpensive the coverage is. But I very rarely, if ever, I don't know if I'll ever put a number to it. So, like I stated, she got coverage on her newborn, and it wasn't the minimum amount. I can't remember exactly how much she got, but it wasn't the minimum amount on her newborn, and it was $12 for the year. So if you have a newborn, a young child, one who still has a pretty much squeaky clean medical history, if possible, please put coverage in place before they start being diagnosed with things that may later on lead to a decline. And again, if there are any healthcare professionals watching this video and you're interested in teaming up so we can do the Health in the Hood events, please message me so we can get started on that. Now, in the last video, I stated that it was my father's birthday. And on the next video, I will show you one of the things that I did in celebration of his birthday. So I'm going to show you, you can't really see the whole tattoo, but you can see that there's a guy on a bike. My father always rode bikes, so I was looking for something that I could get that would represent him. So I got a man on a bike, and it says, "Ride in paradise, Daddy. You will always be my ace. Love, Sweets." Like I said, his nickname was Ace. And part of I know you can't really see it, but part of the tattoo is in his very own handwriting, because I have a lot of his belongings here. And I had some things that he wrote, so I was able to get some of the words written in his own handwriting. So, I do have a weird fact about me today. I don't know if you guys noticed, or if you know this. I don't know if you noticed or if you know this about me, but I put eyeliner on to shoot every video. I love eyeliner. I don't wear it every day, but if I don't have it on, I put it on before I shoot the videos. I did not put any on before this video, so I guess the combination of the fact that I have to put eyeliner on to do the videos and the fact that I did not put eyeliner on before this video could be considered the weird fact of the day about me. And the song that is playing is I don't know the official title. I guess it's called Best Thing I Never Had by Beyonce, or Good and Goodbye. I don't know the title. Y'all comment and tell me what it's called, but y'all know the song that I'm talking about. You turned out to be the best thing I never had. That song, that's the song that's been playing all day. So I'm going to end the video, and before I do, if you have any questions about specific conditions that you or your loved ones or your children may have, and before we submit the application, you would like to know if it's a condition that may lead to a decline, just message me. I can let you know if it's a condition that may lead to a decline. And if it's not something that I'm know offhand, I can always call the companies and do something that's called assessment. There's another term. It's an official term, but like I said, I'm tired, so my brain is kind of moving in slow motion right now. A risk assessment. I can call and I can give the name of the condition, the name of the medications, the doses of the medications to the companies, and they can let me know just based on that information if the chances are good that you may be approved, or if it may be a definite decline. So that's another option. You don't want to just jump from company to company submitting applications and having that decline on the books, because once they see a decline, that's kind of like a red flag for other companies. So it's a good idea that if you're not sure, speak with an agent and have them to call the company to do a risk assessment before you even submit the application. Because another thing that can lead to declines is having prior declines. It's kind of like a network. Once you've been declined with one company, it goes into kind of like a record that other insurance companies can see. So the video is already at 21 minutes long. I didn't want it to be too long, but there were a few things that I wanted to address. So I'm going to get off here, and I'm not going to sleep yet. The way it's looking, it'll probably be after 1, because I have a few more things to do after I get off the video. But I did want to cover this topic, and I'm going to try to make sure it's not 2 weeks again before the next video. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.